A few days later, the news exploded. Cole Foundation under investigation. Fraud allegations surface. Amara dropped her phone, shocked. Within hours, investigators stormed the building. Staff whispered, panicking. Mr. Cole was summoned to a government hearing. Documents had been leaked, and among them was Amara's signature on Victor's contract. She couldn't breathe. Mrs. Daniels, Amara, what have you done? Amara, I didn't sign anything. I swear, I didn't. But no one seemed to believe her. Even Mr. Cole's assistant looked at her with disappointment. Assistant, you are his favorite. Why would you betray him? Tears blurred her vision as she was escorted out. Again, like before, the world that once praised her was now turning its back. That night, rain poured endlessly. Amara sat on the floor of her tiny apartment, shaking. Her mother tried to comfort her, but she was coughing too hard to speak. Amara cried, "Why does this keep happening to me, Mama? I did nothing wrong. Nothing, Mama Esther. Because good people are tested more, my child. But this is not your end." Suddenly, Mama gasped, clutching her chest. The coughing turned violent. Amara screaming, "Mama! Mama!" She rushed her to the hospital. The doctor came out minutes later, grim-faced. "Doctor, she needs surgery urgently." "We can't wait, Amara." "How much?" He told her the amount. It felt like the air left her lungs. She didn't have even a fraction of it. Desperation clawed at her chest. She thought of Victor, his words, his envelope. For the first time, the light in her heart flickered. She sat alone outside the hospital, rain soaking her again. Her phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. "If you're ready to sign now, the money will be transferred immediately. No questions asked, VK." She stared at it for minutes, trembling. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered to herself, "Amara, is this what kindness costs? Is this how good people survive?" Then her mother's voice echoed faintly from her memory. "Never lose your kindness." That's our true wealth. Amara closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and deleted the message. Then she knelt right there in the rain and prayed. "Amara, God, if my kindness is all I have left, let it be enough." The next morning, a police car stopped outside her apartment. For a second, she thought it was over, that they'd come to arrest her. But when the officer stepped out, he was smiling. "Officer, Miss Amara, Mr. Cole sent us. He's been looking for you, Amara." "Mr. Cole?" "Officer, he found proof. You've been framed again." Her knees gave out. She couldn't stop crying. In Mr. Cole's office, investigators played a recording. It was Victor's voice. Arrogant, careless. "The girl refused to sign, so I forged it myself. By the time they find out, we'll be done." Mr. Cole turned to Amara, his voice thick with emotion. "Mr. Cole, you've been through so much because of people's greed. I can't undo that, but I can make it right." He handed her a check, enough to cover her mother's surgery and more. Amara, "Sir, I don't know what to say." Mr. Cole, "Say nothing. Just keep your light burning." Amara fell to her knees, sobbing, tears of relief, gratitude, and exhaustion. Mr. Cole, softly, "You once saved a stranger in the rain. Now it's my turn to save you." A week later, Mr. Cole personally visited the hospital. He came not as a billionaire, but as a man humbled by kindness. Mr. Cole, smiling, "How's our strong mother today?" Mama Esther, laughing softly, "Getting stronger, thanks to God, and your daughter's courage." He turned to Amara. "Mr. Cole, you remind me of my mother, you know. She sold fruits just like you once did. Her hands fed me when the world ignored us. I lost her young. But through you, I feel like she's smiling again." Tears welled in Amara's eyes. "Amara, sir, I only did what anyone should do. Mr. Cole. No, Amara. Most people wouldn't. And that's what makes you rare. He reached into his briefcase and handed her a folder. Mr. Cole, this belongs to you now. Amara opened it, her hands trembling. Inside was an official document naming her as the new director of the Cole Foundation's Humanitarian Division. She gasped. Amara. Sir, I can't. Mr. Cole, gently. You already have. The world needs leaders who lead with heart. You've earned this. Amara covered her face, overwhelmed with emotion. Mama Esther smiled proudly, whispering a quiet prayer of gratitude. Months passed. The foundation blossomed under Amara's leadership. She introduced new programs, the Kindness Initiative, Hope Street Markets, and Mama Care, a health project inspired by her mother's struggle. Everywhere she went, people smiled when they heard her name. The same street where she once sold oranges now bore a billboard that read, Amara Foundation, changing lives with kindness. Children ran to greet her when she visited poor communities. She knelt, hugged them, listened to their stories, and reminded them, Amara, your situation today isn't your end. Keep doing good, even when no one claps for you. One morning, while driving through the city, her car stopped at a traffic light, the same intersection where, years ago, she helped a crying boy in the rain. And there, through her window, she saw a little girl selling flowers, drenched in drizzle, yet smiling brightly as she called to passers-by. Amara's chest tightened. The memory washed over her like a wave. She rolled down her window. Amara, how much for one flower? Little girl. 1,000 naira, ma. Amara smiled, took a bundle, and gave the girl 10,000 instead. Amara, keep the rest. Buy something warm for your mama. The girl's eyes widened in disbelief. Little girl, thank you, ma. As the traffic light turned green, Amara looked out the window, and for a split second, she saw her younger self reflected in that child's smile. Amara, whispering to herself, that's where it all began. A year later, the city held its annual Emerald Humanitarian Awards. The hall glittered with lights, filled with dignitaries, cameras, and applause. When the host announced her name, Amara Esther, Humanitarian of the Year, the crowd rose to its feet. As she walked to the stage in a graceful gold dress, her eyes scanned the crowd, and there, in the front row, sat her mother, radiant and proud. She took the microphone, paused for a deep breath, and began to speak. Amara, a few years ago, I was selling oranges in the rain, praying for a miracle. But the miracle wasn't money, it was kindness. My mother taught me that kindness is not weakness, it's power. Silent, soft, but strong enough to change a life. If you're watching this and you're struggling, don't lose your heart. Someone out there is watching you. Maybe your destiny is waiting for the day you choose good over greed. The audience erupted in applause. Even Mr. Cole had tears in his eyes. Years later, Amara built a school in her community and named it Esther's Academy. Her mother spent her final years surrounded by children, laughter, and peace, her dream fulfilled through her daughter's courage. Every year, Amara told her story to young girls at the academy, not as a tale of luck, but of faith and integrity. Amara to students, your kindness is your crown. It may be invisible, but one day the world will see it shine. The students clapped and cheered, and among them was a young boy who whispered, Boy, one day I'll change the world like Amara.